Hello friends, this is Dr. Rajiv Gupta from SMT MD Patel Institute of Physical Science and Research, Anand. The course name is BSc Chemistry. The semester is 5th semester. The subject is Analytical Chemistry. Its subject code is US05 CCHE24. The unit is 2, which is chromatography first. In this lecture, I am going to talk on thin layer chromatography and its experimental technique. It is the part 3 of this lecture. In a previous lecture, we have learned the application techniques of adsorbent on the plates. These were pouring, dipping, spraying and spreading. Then activation of plates. Now come to the topic of solvent system, which is used as mobile phase. The solvent system performs the following main task: to dissolve the mixture of substances. So these are the tasks of the solvent system or the work of the solvent system. The solvent dissolves the sample components or this mixture, and its second work is to transport the substances or the sample components across the sorbent layer or across the stationary bed. Here, this solvent system provides a medium range RF values for various sample components. So the RF values should be like this. The complete sample components should be separated on the used TLC plate. If means the RF values should be put in the medium range, not in high range or not in low range. It should be situated in medium range. If it is in the very low range, then we will not get good separation or good resolution over TLC plate of the sample components. If this range is very high, then some sample components will be separated at the starting of this experiment, initial part of the experiment, but the later ongoing or traveling substances will not separate, or they will reach to solvent front. So the RF value should be in medium range. So that type of solvent system we have to choose. And the second thing is the RF value should be different for the experiment. Means the solvent system which we apply in this TLC experiment, all the sample components should have different RF values. Means their retention times and retardation factors should be different. So that type of solvent system we have to use. They should also fulfill the following requirements. These solvent systems or mobile phases should follow these requirements, should fulfill these requirements. The first one is it should be adequately pure. If there is some impurity is present in the solvent system, then that impurity may create some interference, some problems during this experiment. Then this should be stable. The used solvent should be stable at ambient conditions, because we know that this experiment is run at room temperature and atmospheric pressure. So during experiment, these solvents comes into contact with environment, so these should be stable. Then low viscosity, The low viscous solvents will move in up direction during experiment fastly due to capillary action. If the substance have very high viscosity, then they cannot work as good mobile phase because their movement on stationary phase, or they cannot work as good elutant if their viscosity is high. Then they show linear partition isotherm. Also, a vapor pressure that is neither very low or very high. That type of solvent system we have to apply which has a moderate vapor pressure or moderate boiling point. So if it is very high, suppose its vapor pressure is very high, then it will readily vaporize during experiment from the TLC plate and also from the chamber, from the development chamber. So we will not get very good separation, and if it is very low, its vapor pressure is very low, then it will be a very low volatile liquid, then it is not favorable for the TLC experiment. This low volatile liquid may damage the stationary phase or may create problems after or during development. Toxicity is also a possible reason, means our solvent should be non-toxic. Now the choice of mobile phase depends upon the following factors. So as I always said that which type of mobile phase or stationary phase we use, that actually depends on the nature of sample. So the nature of substance to be separated. If our substance nature is polar, then the mobile phase will be chosen accordingly. If it is non-polar or less polar, or the what is the structure of the substance. So these all things depends on the nature of our sample. Now nature of stationary phase used. What is the nature of stationary phase? That on that basis the mobile phase will be chosen. Mode of chromatography, normal phase or reversed phase. We know that there are two types of chromatography, a normal phase and reverse phase. In normal phase we use polar stationary phase and non-polar mobile phase, but in case of reversed phase chromatography we use non-polar stationary phase and polar mobile phase. So what type of chromatography technique we are using, depending on that we choose our mobile phase. Means if it is polar or non-polar, or less polar or semi-polar. Separation to be achieved, analytical or preparative. What we are doing, preparative chromatography or analytical chromatography. Depending on this, the choose of this mobile phase also depends. The organic solvent mixture of low polarity is used. Highly polar solvents are avoided. Generally in TLC technique, organic solvent mixtures with low polarity or non-polarity or with very low polarity range will be used, because we know that these organic solvents are generally very volatile in nature. So these are very good solvents for separation of organic compounds, but we avoid highly polar solvents because these solvents could be adsorbed on the stationary phase and minimize the adsorption of any component of the solvent mixture. So they itself may adsorb, these mobile phase solvents may itself adsorb on the stationary phase, so they may create problem or interference by with adsorption of these real sample components. The use of water as a solvent is completely avoided, generally completely avoided, because this water is highly polar, non-volatile liquid, very non-volatile liquid, and it may loosen the adhesion of a layer on a glass plate. Means if we apply water, suppose in an experiment, then our coated layer over glass plate or plastic sheet or aluminum foil, that coated layer of stationary phase of silica gel or alumina gel or whatever could be loosened from that sheet and could go inside the water. So here we cannot use water. Solvents with an increasing degree of polarity are used in liquid, solid, or adsorption chromatography. In particularly in adsorption chromatography, use uh, increasing degree of polarity of solvents. The solvents listed in eutropic series are selected. Now, how we store our solvents in our laboratory? Generally, the storage is unnecessary or not required because for TLC experiment we make fresh solvent mixtures. Okay, we make generally fresh solvent mixtures. But however, in some times if we use TLC technique for a particular type of samples on daily basis, then we can store these solvent systems for several months also. In this case, the best advice is to store them in a dark bottle. This is general requirement in our lab, that sample mixture that solvent mixtures could not make any reaction in during that long time period of storage. So these will be put in a dark bottle in a cool place, and the solvents which have been used uh, as daily quota, these also should be kept at room temperature. Okay, so these are the simple requirements for solvent storage. These are the solvents, common organic solvents which are highly used in TLC. Normal heptane, normal hexane, these are very good organic solvents which are used in the TLC as mobile phase. Normal heptane, hexane and hepentane, cyclohexane, toluene, chloroform. So we can see that the polarity is different. These normal heptane, hexane, pentane are non-polar, but chloroform and uh, isobutanol, these or acetonitrile, these have a very a range of polarity. So these solvents could be applied as mobile phase in its neat form, their neat form, or could be form a mixture, a specific solvent mixture with a specific composition, whatever is suitable for our analysis. So these are the or solvents: propanol, ethyl acetate, these acetone, THF, pyridine. So here all type of polar, semi-polar and non-polar organic solvents. See, almost all the solvents are volatile in nature. So generally volatile solvents, organic solvents are being applied in these TLC technique. This is the polarity order of these organic solvents. Normal hexane, cyclohexane, toluene, benzene, these are very non-polar, but as we move downside the polarity is increasing one by one. As we move downside, the water is highly polar, generally water is not used. So these in between these mixtures or the neat forms of these solvents are applied as mobile phase in TLC. Now the application of sample, this is the now starting part of this experiment. How we do this experiment on TLC plate, how we apply our sample. So our sample could be a solid or a liquid organic compound. So this solid sample or liquid sample could be solubilized in a proper solvent, the solvent which is used as mobile phase in our experiment. So sample solution in a non-polar solvent is applied. Generally after application of these sample spot, the solvent in which it is diluted, this solvent will be vaporized after drying, because these used solvents are volatile in nature. The concentration of sample or standard solution is very low, because we have to use very low amount of sample, we have to apply very low amount of sample on TNC plate. So its concentration could be 1% or lesser. uh, the test sample is spotted. The test sample is spotted using a capillary tube or micropipette. This very diluted sample will be taken by a capillary or micropipette and will be spotted on the TLC plate. So a very small spot is appeared on the TLC plate, we can observe. After that we can dry this spot for some time and the volatile solvent will be removed. The area of application should be kept as small as possible, means the spot should be very small, means its diameter should be very small. So this small spot will give sharper and greater resolution during development. So this is the diagram of TLC plate and its spotting. What we do first, the first thing is drawing a line over the TLC plate, stationary phase coated TLC plate. Okay, that is called TLC plate. So over this we make a line, a very light line using a pencil or other thing, that is called starting line, where our actual developing experiment starts. On that line we apply our sample spot. The sample which is dissolved in a organic solvent, a volatile solvent. Here a solvent is shown, that is dichloromethane. It is a very good solvent for organic compounds and also it is a very volatile in nature. So these solid samples or other type of samples could be dissolved in this, and this solution is applied over this line, starting line. Okay. Now after that, when the sample are applied, these are allowed to dry. So whole the volatile solvent will be removed. Use TLC capillary to transfer and this, as I explained, and also we can make a finishing line, the finishing line where the solvent front reaches. So this finishing line will be apart from the edge of this TLC plate around 1 centimeter. Also the starting line will be situated at the distance from the lower edge of this TLC plate around 1 centimeter. As shown in this diagram, there are 4 spots have been made, total 4 spots. One spot is for one compound like shown T-stilbene, second spot for 9-fluorofluorinone, third spot is for benzoic acid, and fourth one is for unknown. Unknown means in this one component will be present. In this unknown compound, suppose one component is present, or maybe 2 components or 3 components are present. So we have to identify which type of component. So these are the references. T-stilbene, benzoic acid, these are the references. Using these references we can identify these unknown sample after development of this TLC plate. So here when the experiment starts, the mobile phase moves in up direction from this to this side, from starting line to finishing line. How to run thin layer chromatography? Here are the steps. First step is prepare the developing container. Okay, the container which contains a mobile phase or mixture of solvents. Second step is preparation of TLC plate. As I shown here, this is the preparation of TLC plate. Then the third is spot the TLC plate. That is, here it is shown spotting the TLC plate. Now preparation of TLC plate was discussed in a earlier lecture, where we see 4 types of methods: pouring and spreading and spraying, these types. Now the fourth step is develop the plate. Actually this preparation the TLC plate is the very first step. After that we do these all things. Now development the plate, where mobile phase goes from down to up side in a unidirectional manner on stationary bed, and hold the substances present in our sample separated. This is called development of the plate. And the fifth last one step is visualization of spots of single components which are separated. So the first is preparation of the development container. This developing container, a type of glass container, or which could be a cylindrical shape or cubic shape or other shapes, which always covered with a lid. Here it is shown a lid like a watch glass, covered with a watch glass or lid, where a volatile solvent which is filled in the bottom, at the bottom in this container, should not vaporize during experiment, and the inside environment should be completely saturated with this mobile phase solvent. It can be specially designed chamber, a jar with a lid, or a beaker with a watch glass on the top. So this is the simple arrangement of this developing container or developing chamber. Pour solvent into the chamber to a depth of just less than 0.5 centimeter, means very less amount, very low amount of solvent will be put or poured in this chamber, and its height almost 0.5 centimeter from the bottom of the chamber. To aid in the saturation of the TLC chamber with solvent vapor, you can line part of the inside of the beaker with filter paper. Cover the beaker with a watch glass or swirl it gently. Due to this process, the whole air will be completely saturated with this organic solvent vapors. Allow it to stand while you prepare your TLC plate. Now the next thing is preparation of the TLC plate, as I shown earlier how we prepare. Pouring, dipping, spraying and spreading. These were the initial steps where we can make these type of TLC plates. Also in this step we can use ready-made TLC plates which are available in markets. So these plates which are purchased or prepared in our lab could be cut into 5 centimeter into 20 centimeter sheets, or according to requirement. Each large sheet is cut into horizontal plates which are 5 centimeter tall by various weights. Handle the plate carefully so that you do not disturb the coating of adsorbent. See, during cutting of these TLC plates, the adsorbent layer or silica gel, alumina gel layer which is coated should not break, should not destroy, should not disturb, and it should not dirty. So we have to put on hand gloves during these experiments, obviously. Measure 0.5 centimeter from the bottom of the plate. This could be 0.5 centimeter or 1 centimeter. What we want to do, using a pencil, draw a line across the plate at 0.5 centimeter mark. This is the line. Okay. This is the origin, the line on which you will spot. Sorry, this is not a line, this is the solvent level inside the container, development container. But before putting it developing container, first we have to draw a straight line, which is a starting line, on which we have to put a sample spot over here. This is the spot origin. Under the line, mark lightly the samples you will spot on the plate, or mark numbers for time points. Leave enough space between the samples, almost 2 centimeter. We have to put 1 centimeter, we should put almost 1 centimeter space between two sample spots or reference spots, so they do not run together. About 4 samples on a 5 centimeter wide plate is advised. Means here we can observe that we can calculate that if 4 samples are present on 5 centimeter wide plate, then almost 1 centimeter distance should be maintained between two spots. Spot the TLC plate. Prepare 1% solution, as I discussed earlier, in volatile solvent. These are the volatile solvents: hexane, ethyl acetate, methylene chloride, CH2Cl2. Then dip the micro pipette or micro capillary into this solution and gently touch the end of it into the proper location. So what we are doing here, we dip our capillary or micro pipette into this very diluted solution, and some very less amount of the solution will be inserted in this capillary due to capillary action. Then gently, very gently touch this end where the solution is inserted in capillary on the TLC plate, on the proper location over this straight line which is made by pencil. So why we put it gently, because if we touch this capillary on the TLC plate hardly, then there could be a breakage, there could be a breakage happens on the TLC plate. So we have to put very gently these spots to make these spots. Don't allow the spot to become too large if necessary. Depending on our sample and its concentration, the spot diameter should be very small for better separation. You can touch it to the plate, lift it off and blow on the spot. If you repeat these steps, the wet area on the plate will stay small. So while touching this TLC plate with capillary, we just touch and remove in very short time to put a very fine spot on it. This example plate has been spotted with three different quantities of the same solution. For to see the reproducibility of the experiment, we can put more than one spots of the same sample on a same TLC plate. Now, thin layer chromatography column development. First, we dry our sample spot at room temperature for some time. Then what we do, we place the prepared TLC plate in the developing beaker which already contains mobile phase or organic solvent, and then cover this beaker with the washcloth or other lid and leave it undisturbed on your bench top. So this is the first point of this development, the starting point. Now when the solvent comes into contact with TLC plate, so due to capillary action it moves in upward direction. When it comes into contact with samples, then the sample components will be dissolved in this mobile phase. Okay. Allow the plate to develop until the solvent is about half a centimeter below the top of the plate. Remove the plate from the beaker and immediately mark the solvent front with a pencil. This is the ending of experiment. When the solvent reaches to, or mobile phase reaches to solvent front, then immediately we put off this TLC plate from the development container and mark it with a pencil, because if we do not mark this pencil immediately, then this volatile solvent will vaporize and we will not get a particular approaching area of this mobile phase which travels faster compared to sample components. So this is the spot origin, this is the spot of component, sample component. So this is the distance traveled by substance, and this is the solvent front, which is the highest point, reaching point of this solvent molecules. So this is the total distance which is traveled by our solvent. Now the visualization of the spots. If there are any colored spots, circle them lightly with a pencil. So what is said here, if our sample components are colored, then we can observe these spots, different sample component spots with our naked eyes. But if our sample components are colorless, then we may use UV lamps or other iodine vapor chamber techniques where we can visualize these invisible components. So using these UV lamps and iodine chambers. So here a UV lamp is shown, two types of UV lamps, which first one is handheld and second one is with a dark box. So by opening this dark box, we can put our developed TLC plate inside it, and from this upside, top side, we can observe our sample component spots which are separated. Hold the UV lamp over the plate and circle and spots you see. Means when we use generally majorly organic compounds are fluorescent in nature. So in the presence of UV light or UV radiation, these are visible due to illumination due to fluorescence. Make sure you are wearing your goggles and do not look directly into the lamp. Protect your skin because UV light is dangerous for us. So we have to put our goggles and properly, and do not, we should not look directly into the lamp. So chromogenic reagents for visualizing thin layer chromatography. So these are the chromogenic reagents, means these reagents reacts with sample components and provides them a specific color. So these are chromogenic reagents which generally reacts, means after development and drying of the TLC plate, the different sample components which are situated on this or uh, impregnate over this TLC plate could be visualized by providing them a specific color with the reaction of these chromogenic reagents. So these are the chromogenic reagents, and this is the application, means in which type of sample compounds they are used. These iodine vapors, generally organic unsaturated compounds. For unsaturated compounds, alkenes, alkynes and general organic compounds, the iodine vapors are very good chromogenic reagent. Then phosphomolybdic acid, this is for general organic compounds. Fluorescein, bromine, these general organic compounds, means generally these compounds form a type of complexes with these organic compounds and provides them a specific color. Sulfuric acid for generally organic compounds and TLC only. Ninhydrin for amino acids. These amino acids react with ninhydrin or isotin and make a specific complexes, and different amino acids give their specific different colors. 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine, H2S, these all things, these all reagents applied accordingly which type of sample we are using in TLC experiment. So all these reagents provide specific colors to that invisible or transparent sample components on the TLC plate. General review of preparation of materials. The thin layer chromatography plates are commercially pre-prepared ones with a silica gel layer on a glass, plastic or aluminum backing. Use the white plates for spotting several compounds on same plate. This allows for more precise comparison of the behavior of the compounds. So this is the general review of preparation of materials. Various materials, means these silica gel materials. Then these all things, how we do the experiment, these are the all practical things ki how we prepare solutions, sample solutions, how we put them on these TLC plates, and these all things. Again we have seen these all. When spotting samples on the TLC plate, it is good idea to check if enough sample has been spotted on the plate. If the sample is not spotted in sufficient amount, then we have to allow first the solvent to evaporate, then we again apply the capillary on the same side of spotting to increase the amount of our sample on the TLC plate. Allow the solvent to evaporate and then place the plate under a short wavelength UV ultraviolet lamp. A purple spot on a background of the green should be clearly visible. If the spot is faint or no spot is apparent, more sample will be have to applied, because what is said here, if our sample is fluorescent, then the fluorescent and it is transparent. So here what is saying, the our jo actual sample that is transparent, so how we know that the sufficient amount of sample is applied? So we know that using the UV visible lamp. After applying that sample spot, First we dry it, then we put it UV visible ultraviolet lamp and see the intensity of that fluorescence. If intensity is proper or sufficient, then we can go move towards our development. So the next part of this lecture I will discuss in next lecture. Thank you for listening the lecture.